Hello and welcome to a very special edition of the PHNX D-Backs podcast right here on PHNX. My name is Derek Montia, occasionally known as a habitual line stepper. And this guy next to me, he is the vice mayor of PHNX. It's the one and only Thunderstick Jesse Friedman.
Every episode is a special edition at this point.
Every episode, but this is a special.
With Corbin, Carroll in the major leagues, every episode is a special edition.
Every day is Corbin Carroll Day. Every week is Shark Week. And, of course, every episode is brought to you by our friends at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use our code of PHNX and get yourself a fun little addition there as a new customer. We'll talk about that later. But, of course, the DraftKings Sportsbook is America's top-rated sportsbook app. And right now, Jesse, the Suns are shining bright on the Arizona Diamondbacks. And I use the Suns
are shining bright?
Yes, because last night was Mikal Bridges night at the Arizona Diamondbacks game over at Chase Field. Mikal Bridges came out to Chase Field just to watch his team get their asses beat by the Arizona Diamondbacks. And it was a fitting tribute to him and their little bet that they had.
It was. Yeah, I thought it was funny that the original terms of the bet were that Mikal Bridges, so if the Diamondbacks had won that series against the Phillies in Philadelphia a couple months ago, then Mikal Bridges would have come to the stadium in a full Diamondbacks uniform.
Correct.
Which he sort of still did.
He did.
He still wore a Diamondbacks jersey throughout the night. However, he did have a Phillies t-shirt underneath that he was wanted to make certain got some airtime as well while he was doing his thing throughout the day. But the Phillies were somewhat embarrassed by the Diamondbacks last night, Derek. It was not a competitive baseball game, and I mean this baseball team, Derek, I know we're going to get into it, but the Diamondbacks are one of the most exciting teams in the game right now. The
hottest team in baseball. Convince me otherwise.
I don't know if I would go that far.
Hottest team in baseball, Jesse. Convince me otherwise.
The problem is that they still got swept by the Cardinals just over a week ago. So I don't know.
In a very bad showing.
In a very bad. It was very rough. So I don't know if we're quite to that point, but
you know what they didn't have then? They didn't have Corbin Carroll.
They did not have.
They did not have Corbin Carroll and his elite speed. But like you said, yes, they absolutely embarrassed the Phillies in front of Mikal Bridges last night.
They did.
You actually caught up with him, and we found out that there's some things that we might have in common, including our love of MLB The Show.
It's really cool. I mean, like other athletes, like we're fans of all different type of sports. Like I love baseball, like I love playing like MLB The Show, so it's just like it's just crazy, like knowing these guys and just watching them is just so surreal.
Yeah, we know everybody. Everybody plays Madden. Everybody plays The Show, right? It's all.
Does everyone play Madden?
Well, you might not. I don't know if you even know what. Do you even know what Madden is?
I know what Madden is.
I just needed to make sure.
I played Madden growing up.
That every time.
I played Madden growing up. I played the computer game. I played Madden. 2008 was the last one that I played.
All right.
And then I got 1 year for Christmas. I got Madden 2010 for the Wii.
Okay.
And it turns out that the Wii is a non-ideal console to play sports games on. And then I basically have not touched Madden ever since.
That's very true. That's very true. Well, understandably so. But the Arizona Diamondbacks did have an incredible game last night. Their fifth game. I mean, honestly, a very surprising game against this Phillies team that has been very good. Nola. That has been very good. They actually were historically good against him last night on the offensive side.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, the Diamondbacks were the first team ever to score 8 earned runs off of Nola, which he has been very, very good this season. He literally threw a complete game shutout in his last start against the Cincinnati Reds, and the Diamondbacks just – I don't know what they did yet. Like, I don't know how they pulled that off, but somehow they were just knocking Nola all over the place. And at a certain point, it was pretty clear that the Phillies were just kind of letting him wear it, that he wasn't getting removed from the game when he probably should have. And Nola is the type of guy who pitches deep into games, and he still didn't get very far in the game yesterday.
Here's the thing. I don't like to take credit for the achievement of others. You know that. I am a tailcoat writer, but I will give full credit where credit is due. And I will say this, there might have been something magical when you combine Shane in a hot dog costume and open shirt Derek. Those two forces collided at the same time, and for a period of time, the Arizona Diamondbacks scored, I believe it was 22 unanswered runs before they were finally give up a home run to Marsh there in that game. But speaking of great pitching, Zac Gallen extends his scoreless streak, and right now is navigating into the territory of possibly having the longest scoreless streak in franchise history, kind of closing in on Brandon Webb's streak there.
He is closing in, 34 1/3 innings for Zac Gallen. So He is 8 2/3 behind where Brandon Webb is. Brandon Webb is at 7 2/3, I want to say. Brandon Webb is at 42 innings. That is the all-time franchise record for the longest scoreless inning streak ever. Brandon Webb did that back in 2007, and Zac Gallen is still cruising along. And what stood out to me yesterday, Derek, is that in the post-game presser with Zac Gallen, he didn't even really think he felt that good. Like, he said that, like, first 3 innings, like, I wasn't really feeling it. Honestly, I didn't feel good. And then he said in the 4th inning, things kind of clicked for him. In some ways, I see where he's coming from. I don't think his stuff was, like, as good as we've seen it in some games, but that's how you know you're on a roll. Is like, even in games where you don't really have your best stuff, you're still going out there and throwing 7 scoreless innings nonchalantly on 88 pitches. I know some people were mad that he didn't get to continue in this game because it looked like he probably could have.
And we've heard that from other pitchers. Bumgarner said that in one of his better outings this year, that he actually didn't feel like he had his better stuff in that outing when compared to the previous outing when he didn't do so well statistically, right? But Zac Gallen's just been incredible for this team. I feel like he's really dialed in lately, and he has become the outright ace of this staff, right? We have now 2 guys, potentially. Well, it hasn't been confirmed yet, but we could have
not confirmed.
But the Diamondbacks could have 2 guys in back-to-back months winning the National League Pitcher of the Month award.
Yeah, Merrill Kelly did it in July. Looking at the numbers, I would be pretty shocked if Zac Gallen didn't do it in August. I think the man has a 0.68 ERA in the month. He gave up 3 runs in his first start against Cleveland back at the beginning of the month. And then the rest of the month of August for Zac Gallen has just been this 34 1/3 inning scoreless streak. So it's been a pretty incredible month for him, to say the least. And I looked into it, Derek, the last 2 pitchers, like 2 different pitchers who went back-to-back with the Pitcher of the Month award. You don't have to go back that far. It was 2019. It was Max Scherzer and Steven Strasburg who did it for the Washington Nationals a few years back.
Pretty good company.
Pretty good company, yeah. Merrill Kelly and Zac Gallen. There you go. Being compared with Strasburg and Scherzer back when Strasburg was still, like, actually playing baseball, because it feels like he doesn't do much of that anymore.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's had some injury issues for sure, but the one thing the Diamondbacks have had lately is this offensive explosion over this 5-game winning streak. They have outscored the Phillies 25-10 so far in these first 2 games, and have outscored their opponents during this streak 45-19.
Not bad.
That's hashtag good, right?
Is
this team hashtag good now, Jesse? What's happening with this team? I mean, we've seen them have good pitching all season long. At least starting pitching, right? I mean, they've had their bumps in the road. Madison Bumgarner's been struggling lately, but consistently throughout the year, starting pitching has not been the issue for this team. It really has been the inconsistent offense and the bullpen, obviously. We know that this kind of explosion is what we were hoping to see out of them at times. We were hoping to see them kind of get on a roll and have that offense carry over, not in just one big game where they're able to put up 10-plus runs, but, have it carry over to a couple of games. It seems to stall out, though. Inexplicably, they won't be able to score runs for the next 2.5 games after, scoring 15. It's been just such a weird inconsistency with their offense. Now, though, the young guys are here. They're doing the thing.
They're doing the thing.
Are they? Is this team good?
I mean, they're 61-67, so it's hard for me to sit here and say that this team is, like, objectively good. But
do they have a winning record in the month of August?
Don't
they do.
Be a negative Nelly,
there he
Jesse.
is, that guy. On the 1s and 2s, we got Jacob Faj. Thank you, Faj, for chiming in there.
I agree that the Diamondbacks right now are one of the most exciting teams to watch in the game. There's no question about that.
No question about it.
You're starting to see the speed of this young team just, like, drive other teams nuts. I think
give them fits, absolute fits.
I think it's hilarious.
That's why everybody, including the dugout, we're looking at the scorer on Corbin Carroll's first hit that ended up being an E4, and saying how are you giving, like, that wasn't an easy play to make by any stretch of the imagination, right? But Corbin Carroll made it that much harder to make with his speed, right?
Yeah.
He has absolutely elite speed. Apparently, that's what we have uncovered in these first 2 games.
Yeah,
like, we knew he was fast, Jesse, but how fast is Corbin Carroll?
So speaking of, yesterday, We also have this incredible graphic, as you can see on your screen.
99, 98, 94.
Those are percentiles. They're not running 99 miles an hour, but those are percentiles. Allegedly. But I do have a wild stat here on Corbin Carroll. So on that play that you mentioned, I guess this was a play where Corbin Carroll was retired within the last couple of games. I'm not sure exactly. I think this was in his first game. So in his first game a couple of days ago, Corbin Carroll got up the line and maxed out at 31.6 feet per second. All right, that's the biggest sprint speed that we've seen Corbin Carroll record so far. If you translate that over to miles per hour, that's about 21.5 miles per hour.
Oh my God.
And that is the equivalent. If you were to run 31.6 feet per second, like continuously, you would complete a mile in about 2 minutes and 46 seconds, give or take. A sub 3-minute mile is basically what Corbin. Now I don't know if he could actually do that, but
I want to
just
see
dream with me for a second.
Let's
that is how fast Corbin Carroll is getting up the line right now. It is incredibly fun to watch.
It's almost as fast as the Diamondbacks are moving up in the rankings, right? Diamondbacks are now
there's
third.
an analogy there.
Third in the National League standings now. They take over third place over the Giants for the time being.
The Giants are struggling.
The Giants
have lost 8 out of 10. They've lost 6 straight. That team does not look like they're in a good place right now.
And again, not that it's a huge achievement, as many of you have told us on Twitter when we kind of celebrated that this morning, but I guess that moves me into this question. Does that equal success for the 2022 season? I feel like it was just a little while ago that we were saying if we could slip in the third, that would be a huge win for this season, and now it feels like the expectations are slipping right into fifth gear. And now people are saying playoffs, which we're going to say later, of course. But, I mean, does third place in the division and missing the playoffs, does finishing 25 to 30 games above what you did last season equal success to you?
Yeah, I mean, the team is on pace now to go 77 and 85, which my prediction at the beginning of the year was 75 and 87, and I felt pretty bullish saying that they were going to win 75 games. So if they're able to pull that off and win 77, or heck, even win more than that, I mean, with how they're playing right now, it's hard to bet against this team. It is not a great day to be Patrick Lyons, who told us at the beginning of the year that the Colorado Rockies would almost assuredly finish in front of the Diamondbacks. Now those teams are separated by 6 games at this point. Diamondbacks are playing some really good baseball right now, and I think they are where they belong. I mean, I think the Diamondbacks are a better team than the Giants. I think they'll continue to probably create some space between them and San Francisco through the rest of the year. Now you're trying to catch the Dodgers and the Padres. Maybe not this year, but sort of building in that direction for the future, which is not going to be a very easy thing to do.
Did you say catch the what? How many of these have you had, Jesse? Be honest.
We're at Four Peaks, Derek. We're at Four Peaks. You can drink at any time of the day.
You can drink at any time of the day. Airport rules are in effect when you're here at Four Peaks and they're open, right? Beer is at 11 o'clock in the morning. But no, we are here having a great time. I'm enjoying a hazy IPA. I don't know what this guy's drinking over here. I think it might be hard liquor. But if you're here, we're glad to have you here. If you're not here, you're watching us at home, come on down here. We hope you're having a good time. We're having a blast down here at Four Peaks Brewing Company. We thank them so much for inviting us down here. Of course, we announced today our winner of the Four Peaks Toast of the Month sweepstakes, I believe. Are we having?
Did we announce it, or is that on the Cardinal show?
Oh, is that on the Cardinal show at 4 o'clock?
That's usually when we do it because it's the last show of the day.
So is it over as far as entering?
No, I'm pretty
Peaks?
sure. I'm pretty sure you can still enter.
Well, jump down on it. I mean, we're here having a great time.
I could be wrong.
And of course, if you're here, you might be able to get down on it. But we're doing it every month because it's the Toast of the Month sweepstakes. So make sure to get down on it, even if you don't win this month. We are offering a $50 Four Peaks gift card, a PHNX shirt of your choosing, like this Cerveza bad boy that I finally got in the mail, a PHNX annual membership as well. So go to phnx.com or click the link below in the show notes. Must be 21 or older and enjoy responsibly. I am enjoying responsibly right now. And the food, I need the food. I haven't had the food yet, but I did have a Hertz donut from our friends at Hertz Donut. And let me tell you, it definitely got me in the mood. Look at these bad boys in here. Oh, yeah, I don't want to lift them up. I can't, Jacob. The donuts are so heavy. They're so heavy because they're so delicious, and there's so many toppings on top of them, and they're incredible.
There are a lot of toppings.
There are a lot of toppings.
Hertz Donuts goes crazy.
Oh, they go nuts
toppings.
with the topping. It's a beautiful. The box is beautiful too. I love the VHS box that they come in. I can't make it go down, Jesse. I feel like, do you got it? All right, so there we go.
There we go.
But yes, our friends at Hertz Donuts right now are offering buy one, get one free right now over at Hertz Donuts. So make sure to check out our friends, and big thank you to them for hooking us up with the donuts today, because it was my way to get through to this show. I came over here starving. I'm thinking about the chicken tendies here at Four Peaks since I woke up this morning. So, of course, I got to get down on that. But I had myself it looked like the Cookie Monster, Jesse. And my hands are dyed blue from it, but I don't care because it was so delicious. When you have a good donut, you don't care what it does to you, how the big mess that you make.
No,
but,
never.
Again, thank you to them. And here's the other thing. Over at ogsbrands.com, we also have our Flavoring Life sweepstakes. One winner is going to receive 3 bags of orange cream. 3 bags of orange. 3 bags of gummies, 1 orange cream, so a couple of tropicals. Sorry, I'm all over the place because, of course, the internet is terrible and I can't load my screen. But right now in the Flavoring Life sweepstakes, Open Shirt Derek is going to bring you a whole lot of fun. And actually, we have an announcement to make, Jesse.
Oh.
Our Flavoring Life sweepstakes, where you get 3 bags of OGs, including orange creamsicle and tropical gummies, an OG's hat, a PHNX shirt of your choice, and a PHNX annual membership. I get to announce the winner of that right now.
Really? Okay.
That is right.
They never let us announce winners
I know.
to these things.
It is
What a
me.
moment.
I am the chosen one this time, of course, because I'm Open Shirt Derek. I'm on the ad. But Jacob, put the ad up. You have the ad?
Do we need to see that one more time?
No, we need to.
I don't have the ad.
Oh, come on. No, this is. Anyway, well, congratulations to our inaugural Flavoring Life winner. Drum roll, please, Jesse.
I don't think anyone could hear this.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for giving it your all. Congratulations to Miles Unale, Unale, at Miles Revenge on Twitter for winning these prizes. Of course, you can still sign up for your chance to win not only the Toast of the Month sweepstakes, but the Flavoring Life sweepstakes over at gophnx.com. And of course, you can check out OG's Brands, their wonderful variety of gummies. Even if you didn't win, you know, if you have any questions, hit me up. I can tell you about doses, strains, whatever you need. You want to know about taking edibles and watching sports, I'm your guy. But OG's is the hookup. So make sure to go to them at your local dispensary or find them online at ogsbrands.com. Also on Instagram at ogsbrands. That's OGEEZ Brands. Jesse, we had another big day yesterday. Not just the win.
Did.
I almost feel like Corbin Carroll single-handedly made this happen, but you have other feelings on this. You feel like it's somehow a body of work, I guess. But Torey Lovullo's option was picked up by the Arizona Diamondbacks for the 2023 season. Of course, yesterday they had a press conference, and Mike Hazen had lots of nice things to say about Torey Lovullo. You were there for it.
Did.
So what was his thought process on Lovullo and what he's done for this team?
Yeah, I mean, I think that what the Diamondbacks have shown, not just over the last week or two, but on this season as a whole, that I think on the whole has been pretty successful for this team. Torey Lovullo has shown that what happened last year wasn't his fault. I think we're all sort of in agreement that the Diamondbacks winning 52 games last year was not an accurate reflection of Torey Lovullo as a manager. You cannot reduce that season down to having him as the manager and having him do a poor job. I just don't think that was ever a fair criticism. And based on how the team has turned things around this year, and Torey Lovullo is pretty much the same guy, I think it's clear that was never really the problem, that he was never really the problem. At the same time, it is interesting that the Diamondbacks picked up his 2023 option but didn't extend him beyond that, right? Like, Torey Lovullo is about to go into his 3rd consecutive year where he is in the last year of his contract, theoretically. Which is maybe a little bit challenging for him, right? Like, that's not necessarily the best spot for a manager to be in. But Mike Hazen was like, look, we know that it's not just Torey, it's me as well. Mike Hazen said that both he and Torey are pretty much out of mulligans at this point, that they need to get this franchise turned around. And so Hazen views himself as sort of being in the same category, as like, we need to get this right. And so I think that's why the Diamondbacks aren't taking that bigger step of extending Lovullo long term, is like, yes, this is a big turnaround and we're headed in the right direction, but we're not where we want to be yet as a franchise, right? And so I think both Hazen and Lovullo are
I gotta get that. There's
this
a
fly is driving me nuts.
I had to do. I couldn't let that happen.
Thank you, Derek.
I couldn't let that happen.
But yeah, I mean, it's something for both of them where I think they both need to continue to prove themselves moving forward and continue to move this franchise in the right direction. But with what Lovullo has accomplished this year, with how good this Diamondbacks team is playing right now, these flies, man, these are crazy.
It's just the same one.
It's the exact same one.
He just wants to be a guest on our show so
At least it's not a mosquito.
Yeah,
Having a mosquito terrorize you like in your own room is like the worst feeling in the world. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Torey Lovullo really hasn't had a terrible season with the exception of last year, right? We're talking about 93 and 69, 82 and 80, 85 and 77, 25 and 35 in the ridiculous 2020 season.
Right.
Then last year's nightmare, and this year 61 and 67, right? This year, I feel like they got themselves in a hole at times. There's still some issues to address, right? They're still not even in the same league, let alone division, it seems like, as the Dodgers, right? So there's a lot of ground for them to make up. But at the same time, it feels like they are finally seeing their investments in the future start to pay off, right? There's some patience involved there. It's some patience involved from the organization side of waiting for these guys to come up and committing to that. There's Hazen's ability to wait and kind of have these bad seasons, right? But now with 2023 kind of being a crucial year for both of their careers and their times with this franchise.
It really is.
Do you see the team making some bold moves potentially in the offseason maybe to add to it? You know, maybe not anything where they're going to mortgage their future, get rid of any of these young guys that are the future, but maybe bring in a free agent or two to add to, again, the bullpen like they've tried to do, or maybe the starting rotation if potentially they lose Zach Davies.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to need a guy for the rotation for sure, pretty much. And I don't know what they're going to do with the bullpen, frankly. I mean, it seems like Mike Hazen has sort of tried the same thing over and over again, and it's never really worked for them. But I don't know what else they do. I mean, I don't think the Diamondbacks are going to have tons and tons of money to spend this offseason to go get an Edwin Diaz or someone like that. So how they're going to attack some of these problems, I'm not sure. But that is a good point that 2023 is a really big year for this baseball team, and they really need to show that they are taking that next step into not just being like an interesting team that's fun to watch,
right?
Which they absolutely are right now, right? I mean, they have all of our attention. This is so aggravating. But they need to turn into more than that, right? And I think making some moves this offseason will probably be part of that. And I also wouldn't count them out from moving a young player or two. As hard as that is maybe to say, the Diamondbacks have a lot of outfielders, Derek. I'm not sure if you've picked up on that.
I've heard that. I've seen it with my own eyes.
At a certain point, you might need to think about trading one of those guys to fill a hole in another spot. At some point you gotta think about it, right?
No. This reminds me of when one of your dogs has puppies, and then those puppies stick around too long, and now you're saying maybe we have to give one of them away. And I'm like, no, the puppies stay, Jesse. They all stay. We're not getting rid of any of them. But I don't know. I mean, there are some things that they definitely need to do, and I see Michael McDermott in the comments has a great point. He said start converting some of the failed starters into relievers.
Yeah.
Corbin Martin is being wasted in the Reno rotation, getting his brains beaten in. See if he can pitch 1 or 2 innings in the pen, right? And, they do have some strong arms, but guys that might not end up being a starter, and these are the guys that they need to start maybe thinking of these roles. Really, they do still have some strong arms. So even if those guys are future starters, maybe getting Nelson or, some of these other guys up into the bullpen just for them to be at a major league level and start contributing to this team, helping them win games, can be the answer for this bullpen. I don't know what is the answer, but right now when you look at the 14 losses alone by Melanson and Ian Kennedy, right now the Diamondbacks are 9.5 games back in the wild card, Jesse, in the National League wild card. I'm not saying that those guys could be perfect, right? No relievers are, no closers are. There's going to be losses in there, but that's a lot of losses just in those two guys, not to mention, as you pointed out, that the bullpen has the most losses, or at least at one point was tied for the most losses.
A few days ago, they had the most losses of any bullpen in baseball, which is not great.
Not great, and it contributes strongly to the fact that this team is #good, but there are still some areas of concern to address, right?
Does the hashtag, could you just say the team is good? Does #good have a different meaning than good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
Get with the times, Jesse.
Get with the times, Jesse.
So what is the difference? You have to explain
You
this
are
to
the
me.
23-year-old here. Why do I need to explain trends and things young people are doing to you?
Okay.
Tell them.
Help me, Jacob.
Tell 'em, Jacob.
Hashtag good gives you a chance to walk it back in case they aren't good.
There we go.
Ah.
There you go. Hashtag.
I like that. I
All
like
right.
that. The D-backs are hashtag good. I
Hashtag
can
good.
confirm.
There he goes. He's in on that. Also, you actually have a piece up on Torey Lovullo's extension or not up, but that's coming in regards to your feelings on this extension. And honestly, I mean, that's a big part of it is we're all going to have feelings about it. I know there are some people who aren't in on this. I know there are some people that blame Lovullo quite a bit for losses and things that have happened with this team.
Yeah.
Even in the instance of Mark Melancon, I know people want to blame Lovullo, but I mean, this is a guy that honestly is doing what you should, and he's putting the respect and he's putting the responsibility on the shoulders of these older pitchers that should be able to get the job done and honestly aren't, right? It's frustrating for him, it's frustrating for them, it's frustrating for us as fans to watch, right? But it doesn't mean that Lovullo's a bad manager for that. It just means that unfortunately some of the arms right now that are veteran arms that you should be able to count on are the ones that right now you can count on the least, it seems like. The young guys are getting it done across the board. I'm calling Merrill Kelly a young guy. I don't care if you want to call him that or not. But
my man is 35 years old.
I know. Well, he's young to me, damn it, Jacob. He's young to me. But, of course, you can read Jesse's wonderful articles over at gophnx.com. If you haven't done so already, sign up for a membership. We're giving them away. I don't know if you heard over Toast of the Month, Flavoring Life Sweepstakes. We just gave one away right here in this very show. So go over to gophnx.com, sign up for a membership, or at least enter to win one. But if you get yourself an annual membership, you will get a free T-shirt like this guy over at the PHNXLocker.com. You'll also get yourself access to our members-only Discord and members-only discounts over at the same PHNXLocker.com. We also have a month-to-month option, and we will hook you up with a 50 cents for your first month if you go that route. No free T-shirt, but you still get access to the Discord and our wonderful membership options. If you're watching us right now on YouTube, please make sure to subscribe to the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. Give us a little thumbs up, like the video. We appreciate you guys being here in the comments, hanging out with us. We got donuts, we got lunch coming. We're here at Four Peaks Brewing Company. We thank them so much for their hospitality, letting us come here on our last Wednesday show. All the shows are going to be here. We're all broadcasting from here. So hopefully you guys get a chance to stop down here. And again, if you don't, grab some Four Peaks and join us live. Also, make sure if you're listening to us on your favorite audio podcast that you subscribe to us there. Give us a 5-star review. We love you and appreciate you for it. And just for that, I'm going to talk about playoffs right now. That's it, Jesse.
Okay.
I'm talking playoffs. Playoffs. Are we actually talking about playoffs?
Well, are we talking about playoffs or are we talking about hashtag playoffs?
Are we talking about hashtag? Can we say hashtag playoffs? Hashtag good, hashtag playoffs. But 9.5 games back in the NL wild card with 6 games to play against the Brewers, 6 games to play against the aforementioned San Francisco Giants, which aren't in front of them any longer. They are now in the rearview mirror, and 7 games left against the San Diego Padres. So, with that being said, the question was proposed today that is it possible?
Is it possible?
Is it a possibility? Yes, it's a possibility because, to be honest,
on paper, yes.
On paper, well, yes, on paper. But games aren't played on paper; they're played inside of television sets. You know that.
Fair. They're played. Yes, they are played inside of television
sets. But here's the thing: is that the Diamondbacks technically, and I know this isn't probably the correct use of this word, but they control their own destiny with the amount of teams that they have to play that are in front of them that are in playoff wild card contention. Right?
It's true.
Let's just say they do something crazy like sweep all 6 from the Brewers and sweep all 7 from the Padres. Are you fucking shitting me? Is that not going to get us in the playoffs? Let's go. Corbin Carroll out there every night. That's what I need to see. But
not tonight.
But not tonight. What? We need to talk about this, Torey Lovullo. I might walk back this extension comment that I was making earlier. I'm just joking. I love you, and Torey we trust. But, Jesse, what are your thoughts on playoffs? Is it – I mean, here's the thing. Is it ridiculous to even think about it? Is it one of those things where you're going to get your expectations up now, so now if they don't make the playoffs, it's going to maybe be a bit of a letdown?
Yeah, I mean, I would temper expectations a little bit. I mean, I think the cardinal rule is that, like, on September 1st, you want to be usually, like, no more than 3 or 4 games out. Like, if you're 9.5 out, on September 1st, I'm not sure in a normal season I would really even consider that like you're even in a viable position for a playoff spot. But you are right. They do play a lot of games against the teams in front of them, which does sort of mean that they have more control in this situation than a team normally would. The Padres are playing a little bit better now. I know Josh Hader is no longer their closer, which continues to be wild after they made that move at the trade deadline.
No kidding. Trading the best closer in the game for essentially the best closer in the game.
And now they have, Nick Martinez has been in that role for them, and he really struggled in the game yesterday against San Francisco. He almost blew that game. So the Padres are still working through some things, but I have to believe that the amount of talent on that roster right now is just so much. I mean, now that Juan Soto is there, obviously the Tatis situation has very much complicated things for them, but it's still a pretty talented roster. Their starting pitching is still pretty darn good. So the Brewers are beatable. The Brewers are not that good of a baseball team. So I do think the Diamondbacks have a shot at gaining some ground in these races, but to actually, make up 9.5 games in this short of a time is hashtag bullish. It's going to be very, very difficult for the Diamondbacks to pull that off.
Fair to say. We've seen collapses, though, in baseball that have been epic, right? So we've seen teams in the month of September actually burn down to the ground. And who knows, right? Maybe the Diamondbacks' speed on the base path is like a metaphor for their speed on catching up for some of these teams. Maybe they come up so fast.
If you guys haven't been to a Diamondbacks game like this week, I would highly recommend it. Or
It's
just
incredible.
like in general, the rest, because I've never seen a team as fast as the Diamondbacks right now. I've never seen a team as fast.
And especially last night's game, I got the chance to rewatch it in the middle of the night, and let me tell you, I just giggled with delight in watching it, right? It was ridiculous to see what these guys are doing. But what's more ridiculous is these young guys, because they're having the success and this impact on the game that they're having, they are gaining confidence at a ridiculous level, right?
I mean, Jake McCarthy has like the highest OPS on the team right now. It's wild.
And it's almost like they're realizing that it's all the mystique of being in the MLB. It's all that, right? Like if you're a good athlete, if you're a great athlete, in Corbin Carroll's case, if you're an elite athlete, it only takes so much time before you're comfortable, and then you're like, oh shit, this is the same game that I've played and been good at my entire life, And I feel like I can be just as good at this level that I've been at every level in my career, right?
And I feel so bad for Torey Lovullo right now having to fill out this lineup card. Jake McCarthy.
Are we complaining about this right now, Jesse?
Does he go so Gary? Does he go Jake McCarthy?
I'm not complaining about this. I'm just bringing up a valid point, and even Torey Lovullo. Oh my God. Torey Lovullo said this yesterday that he was trying to be positive about it. He was like, it's a fun puzzle to try to put together or something like that. It's impossible.
No, here's the
thing,
though.
You can't play all of the Diamondbacks outfielders right now, even though every single one of them deserves playing time every single day.
And this is one of those things that people don't understand quite about demotions, is in some cases they demote guys not because they're bad, but because they don't want them sitting around and not getting playing time.
That's
right? Like Stolen Garrett's a guy that right now would be starting every day for the Reno Aces, and if he's going to sit on the bench for 4 or 5 straight games,
which he did,
it doesn't do him any good, right? And that's
the
problem.
But that doesn't mean you're going to send. I mean, they're not going to send Stone Garrett down. The guy comes up and hits 391. You're not going to send him down. You can't.
No, DH all the time. Playoffs. What if they make it? How far do they go?
How far do they go? Are we having this conversation?
Here's the question. All right, they're obviously limited by their bullpen, right? So I think that's the thing is that even if you want to talk about getting third place being kind of like a false achievement that we really shouldn't celebrate, does making the playoffs and getting bounced in the wild card route something to really celebrate? I mean, I guess you got to the playoffs.
If the Diamondbacks get to the playoffs, I don't care if they lose every game they play.
Champagne. It's gonna be crazy.
I don't care what happens when they get there. That would be remarkable. That would be insane. And I also think Mike Hazen might have some regrets from the trade deadline of maybe I should have added a reliever or two at the deadline because I didn't expect to be in this position at this point.
Maybe make a deal for David Peralta that isn't so much about adding another,
Yeah, Peralta, I don't know. I don't think you were going to get it an impact major league piece for David Peralta.
Well, I'm just talking about
maybe you could have found a nice middle reliever something like that.
Yeah, something like that is what I'm saying. But we stand Reyes Moronta. Is that how you say it?
Moronta.
Reyes Moronta. I love you.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
He's a big boy.
Yeah. I love all of our new additions. Everybody's been great. I talked about Emmanuel Rivera. I spoke to him on the field. I got to share
your little
Puerto Rican love.
Yeah, Puerto Rico connection there.
For sure. But it was more about hearing him say how much he loved being a part of this team, to be honest. That was something that, for me, I thought was really, really great to hear.
I mean, what's not to love right now, Derek?
What's not to love?
What's not to love?
Not only is he getting an opportunity, but Torey Lovullo is loving life right now, because now, instead of the dilemma that he had of who can I play, who can I get to fill these positions, it's now more of who will I play, and who's going to play on what day.
How on earth do I put a lineup card together with and also one thing we haven't talked about yet is tomorrow is September 1st. So the Diamondbacks are going to get 2 more active roster spots tomorrow, which may only give Torey Lovullo even more of a headache because he's going to have 1 more pitcher and 1 more position player to work in. It seems like Kyle Nelson is very likely to be the pitcher that the Diamondbacks call up.
Okay.
Tomorrow, he's been working his way back on a rehab assignment.
Yeah,
so
he was on the injured list, right?
Yep, he's getting close. So I expect tentatively that Kyle Nelson will be brought back up tomorrow. I don't really know who the position player is, to be honest. Pavin Smith is still hurt. And there aren't any obvious candidates in the minor leagues.
Dominic Fletcher.
Jordan Luplow.
Dominic Fletcher. Dominic Canzone. I'm thinking of both of those guys as candidates. But it's tough. I mean, are you really going to bring another outfielder into this situation now?
Seth Beer.
You could bring up Seth Beer.
Beer.
You're just wearing the T-shirt.
I got to do the thing. I don't get to do the thing. But yeah, definitely it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the month of September. And honestly, like you said, temper your expectations. I don't want to get people too overtly excited because, again,
we're also kind of in the business of overhyping things a little bit.
We're hype men. We're glorified hype men is what we are.
We're
over
okay.
here.
We're okay wearing that hat around here.
Absolutely. But that's because we have a team that I think we're starting to feel proud of, right? This is a team that honestly we wanted to see for a long time. I described it as these minor league players almost become myths, in the system because it takes so long to finally see them. And you hear of these feats of strength. And did you hear the other day that Stone Garrett hit a 782-foot home run and stuff like that? These are the things that don't even sound real, and because that one's not, but it's mostly because it takes so long for these guys to get up here.
Yeah.
And then when they do, they can tend to be a bit of a disappointment after having this hype train that guys like me and this windbag over here build behind them, right? But, of course, we love to see the young Diamondbacks succeeding right now, and, I mean, that's one thing that's so exciting about this team. So make sure to come out and watch this team if you haven't done so already, and make sure to sign up at the DraftKings Sportsbook app if you haven't done that already, because, of course, the DraftKings Sportsbook app is the one app you need to have during football season. It's football season, folks. We need to get down on betting because every Sunday is a blast on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. The wait is almost over. A new football season is upon us. We're fans. We're baseball guys, but guess what? Baseball wraps up in time for us to kick back and enjoy the other sports. We're the smart ones around here. Forget all these other guys.
Yeah, everyone's talking about
sports at the same time.
Take your vacations now because it's about to get crazy.
Oh, it's so crazy. And me and this guy are smoking cigars. Well, he's not. We're drinking bourbon. I mean, he's not. But we're hanging out together with our feet up. And get down on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Of course, get ready for Week 1. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use our promo code of PHNX, and you will get $200 in free bets instantly when you place a $5 bet on any football game. That's code PHNX only at the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. And remember, you can still get down on the baseball betting. It's always fun to bet on baseball.
Bet on Corbin Carroll?
Bet on Corbin Carroll.
Are we there?
Can we bet on his elite speed? I bet on stolen bases.
Bet on Corbin Carroll's sprint speed tonight.
Is there a bet for how many extra bases he takes, for turning a single into a double? I don't know, but if there was, I would bet on it on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. And of course, once you win your money, go over to our friends at Gametime and get down on the absolute best place to buy all of your sports, concert tickets, everything else. It's the hottest new ticketing site that makes it easier than ever to score your last-minute deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows. I went to the weekend last night, Jesse, and let me tell you, that place was sold out. It was at State Farm Stadium. I mean, it was a beautiful thing to see. They gave us these cool little wristbands when we came in that I didn't know what they were for. They had like a little device on them, and they ended up lighting up at the concert.
Oh,
and went to the music and
Chat,
stuff.
I'm going to interrupt you for a second. I'm really sorry. The DraftKings thing is stuck on the screen because our mouse died, so I'm trying to get it off, but keep talking.
Oh, that's all right.
Just your voices.
That's fine. DraftKings understands, and they wanted to be at the weekend last night, but they couldn't be. They couldn't be because they didn't get tickets, but they could if they went over to Gametime and saved up to 60% on tickets when you buy tickets last minute. It's great for you procrastinators out there. I tried to get Sean DePaz to get down there. Apparently The Weeknd is one of his favorite artists, and then I had to like just rub my tickets in his face, and today I'm telling him about the pyro and how great the concert was. He could have got his tickets over on Gametime, but if you love PHNX, then you'll love Gametime. The best way to support us is by buying your tickets through the link in the description below, and of course, it's where you get your tickets to all your last events. Get your tickets to Diamondbacks games. It's a great place to get your tickets there.
It is genuinely a great app.
Yeah.
I used Gametime a number of times growing up. It was always one of the cheapest, easiest options to get Diamondbacks tickets when I was growing up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So highly recommend.
It's weird to partner with sponsors that like we legitimately have used several times before in the past.
It's
this guy over here
I
gave me
genuinely
that,
love the Gametime app.
we didn't even work together, and he told me about the Gametime app. So, I mean, it's been a long time. So definitely get down on that. We can attest to its success. But, of course, we can also attest to the success of the Arizona Diamondbacks, who continue to hopefully stay on a roll, stay hot. They have one more game against the Phillies, and then they have the Brewers coming up. These are all at home, so make sure to join us. We'll be at those games this weekend.
We're doing another show in
like
8 hours.
We are doing another show in 8 hours. That's another thing. Make sure to join us. We're doing 2 shows today, post-game show after this one. 10 o'clock at night?
Probably around 10 o'clock tonight.
We're going to be in our jammies. We'll be at home. Milk cookies. Milk in honor of Zac Gallen, right? We're going to start drinking milk on Zac Gallen pitching days.
Yes,
That's something we need to start doing. But, of course, make sure to join us tonight for that, because we will be recapping the series. And hopefully what we'll be recapping is the second consecutive series sweep by the Arizona Diamondbacks this season.
Wild. The Phillies are a pretty darn good baseball team.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
If you're talking about sweeping a team like that, you're in a pretty darn good place. And these first 2 games that the Diamondbacks have won, Derek, were not particularly close. The Diamondbacks are doing it with force right now.
They really
and
are.
even the White Sox were also, they're in playoff contention. I talked the other day about how the Diamondbacks are a better team than they are anyway. But they're also, the White Sox are not a horrible baseball team either. So coming out and doing what the Diamondbacks have done against those teams is very impressive.
And another thing that's impressive, besides the Arizona Diamondbacks and the streak that they're on, is our new office, baby. We are going to be coming to you live next week from the new PHNX office. Do we have we got to get a name for the place. Do we have a name for the place yet,
We're just hoping for a few things to come in first. We're trying really hard to get it ready, but it's just been a comedy of like whether or not things like to come in on time or not.
Yeah.
But we should be don't pin this on me if it doesn't happen.
We're going to pin it on him.
I'm hoping for September 9th.
Hashtag September 9th.
Our 1 year anniversary.
Hashtag September 9th.
Hashtag September 9th.
Yeah, that keeps us out of trouble using the hashtag.
I like that. Our 1 year anniversary going live from the new
Also,
from the
Jesse,
new
you
place.
missed the opportunity to call them the lowly White Sox.
Oh, I did. The White Sox are lowly.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
my God. Shots fired. I'm telling our friends at CHGO White Sox.
I don't even feel like I need to say any more about that, though, because I already made my point, and the CHGO White Sox people just sort of acknowledged that I was correct.
Yeah,
so
that's how he feels.
I don't want to embarrass them at this point, so we're just going to leave it at that.
They said we were taking offense. We did not take offense, guys. We just simply stood up with the numbers. He stood up with stats. That's what he does. And then I do what I do. I was just a loudmouth in the back just barking, oh, go Jesse, do your thing. That's what I do. But we can't wait to have our friends from the CHGO White Sox and join us at the new studio. More furniture, by the way, helped us make our studio look so amazing, and that's why I can't wait to broadcast from there. I like going there and just hanging out, and so far they keep telling me I can't take pictures and post it on the internet, and that's what I do. That's, you know me, you follow me on Twitter, that's what I do. I observe and I report back on Twitter. So and it's just because the office is coming together and it looks so beautiful. We can't wait to show it to you guys. And of course, thank you to our friends at More Furniture for hooking our entire office up with the new studio, new furniture, everything. So if you're interested in checking out Moore's Labor Day sale, which is the best time to buy your furniture, go to morefurniture.com. That's MOR furniture.com. And that's all we got today. We got to go watch a baseball game, and then we'll be back. We're just going to go take a little break and watch some baseball, but we'll be back later tonight. Of course, join us for our post-series game tonight right here live on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. In the meantime, you can follow us on Twitter. I am at Cap_Caveman with a K. This guy is at Jesse N. Friedman. Our show is at PHNX_DBacks. But, of course, all roads lead to at PHNX_sports on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We thank you guys again for joining us for lunch. On behalf of Jesse, the entire crew, Four Peaks Brewing Company, everybody here, we thank you guys again so much for being here. And remember, kids, baseball is fun, but it's so much more fun when you have elite speed.